Hi, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a Kawai Studio upright that was made in Indonesia in 2003. It's model 506. Yes, 506. About 44-ish inches tall. So it's a pretty small piano. Most studio uprights of this furniture style, this is more the institutional style that has this gigantic music desk that you can put all sorts of stuff on, very useful in that regard. Most of them, I've noticed, tend not to have a practice mute. They have a bass sustain instead, which is what a lot of old American uprights would have. And that, in my opinion, was never quite as useful as other configurations for the middle pedal. This one has a proper practice mute, like you would find in a larger Japanese-made Kawai or Yamaha upright. So you can press it down, move it over to the left. It will put a strip of felt between the hammers and the strings. And so the hammers don't hit the strings directly, it hits them indirectly, and it makes it much softer. So if you've been around pianos a lot, like I have, you might not immediately expect this piano to be one that was made with a practice mute. And if you were hoping for one, you might be disappointed at first. But rest assured, this piano has it and it works on all notes. The institutional style typically was less expensive to make than some of the decorator styles that Kawai and Yamaha intended for homes, or the more contemporary styles that have that all polished ebony straight lines all over. It's a very capable little piano. Whenever we get these in, I'm always surprised at how musically capable they are. And as I said, it's a 44-inch studio, so on the smaller side of studio. It doesn't sound like it. It has a remarkably deep sound, and that, in my opinion, is characteristic of Kawai upright pianos. They always have a especially deep sound in the lower notes. I didn't play as much in the video, but we'll listen here. Really powerful and a lot of depth if you need to bring it out in whatever music you're playing. That, in my opinion, is a bit harder to find in comparable Yamaha uprights. And the same goes for Kawai's larger uprights, 48, 50 inches tall. In my opinion, usually the bass is a bit stronger than on equivalent Yamahas. It's just the way they've designed their pianos. Nothing wrong with Yamaha in that regard. They make an excellent quality piano with excellent, consistent quality control. But so does Kawai. And if you really like that darker, deeper sound, I think Kawai would be your piano. And indeed, many classical pianists or students of classical piano teachers prefer Kawai specifically for that sort of darker, warmer sound that flatters the music that they want to play better. This particular Kawai, well, as I said, is quite capable. It has a wide dynamic range, and when you play loudly, you get a much bolder, more brilliant sound out of it. But depending on how you play, if you want to play more softly, you can get a much more gentle, warmer sound. That works itself out to be a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10, from mellow to bright. It's right in the middle, and you can go either way depending on what sort of music you want to play. The touch, I kind of forgot to think about it. It's a little firm, not excessively so. If we had a place on our scale for 5.5, I would call it that. We don't have a place on our scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm for that, so we round it up to a 6. It is, I think, definitely firmer than the average keyboard action that we come across here, or just average piano. And Kawai is indeed known for more of a firmer touch in their pianos. It's the way they make their pianos. And again, that's another characteristic that I think piano teachers of classical repertoire prefer their students to have, at least many of them prefer to have. More resistance in the keys gives them more control over soft playing, especially in music written after Beethoven's time, starting with Beethoven, so the Romantic era, 1800 to the 1945-ish. And that includes a lot of composers who are very popular amongst piano teachers and students, like Chopin, Brahms, Liszt, Rachmaninoff. If you are a beginning student in the early stages of learning, and your teacher wants you to be well prepared for the more massive feel of a grand piano, such as you'd have to play at a piano lesson, I think you're going to be very well set up with this piano. It's not overwhelming, but it's just firm enough to get you starting to build your strength in your fingers. So 6 it is on the scale from 1 to 10 for the touch, and a really pleasant piano to play. It really sounds bigger than it looks. It's, as I said, on the shorter end of studio uprights, and the whole categories 44 to 44 is console, 40 to 44 is console, 44 inches to 48 inches is studio, and 48 and up is upright. This is on the small end of studios, but it really has a big, powerful sound, and you won't have a problem filling a room, even if you have a relatively large living space to put this in. I think you'll be really pleased with the sound. So please stop by. You can play it along with anything else in their inventory. But if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email if you have any questions. Thanks.